Hello everyone, it's Hazel here from South Africa, and kind of vaguely wondering to ourselves today if summer's over already, because our temperatures have dropped down again and it's cold and wet. But never mind, it gives me the opportunity to do some playing. And what I've done today is a friend gave me a couple of empty shoe boxes. She'd bought shoes for her boys and gave me the boxes for storing stuff, and still had left the tissue paper inside. So I've ended up with 3 lovely sheets of somewhat crumpled, but definitely not too bad, tissue paper sheets. So I have seen people quite a long time ago doing some messing around on the tissue paper, and of course I've seen a couple of people showing Tim Holtz's beautiful sheets of tissue paper. So I thought to myself, why don't I give this a bash and just play with my stamps, mess around with the stamps a bit, do a bit of stenciling, do a little bit of scribbling and doodling, and see what I can come up with. And of course, because I was all excited and focusing on doing all these interesting things, I forgot to turn on my camera, didn't I? But I've not completed this sheet yet. What I've done here so far is I used my little round wooden stamps, these babies. I used 3 of them and stamped down here with them. I'm using the principle of 3 because that way you get quite a nice balance on a sheet of paper if you're doing this kind of work, I do know. So it's like mark making, or doing a masterboard anyway. But here we go. So just 3 different stamps down there. Then I've got some funny little stamps, sort of script stamps, and the same set of script stamps had little ink blotch stamp, which I thought was rather beautiful. So there were 2 of those stamps. So I used, there's one and there's t'other. So I've put those on here as well to add some texture. And these were like postal stamps, what the post offices do. And I put 3 of those together and on a stamp block and put them on here. Then I thought I'll try the stenciling thing. I haven't done it before, but I did watch somebody doing it about this time last year, I think, where she took a stencil and a dauber, and she put the stencil down and daubed over it with her dauber, and I tried it, and I tell you what, I love it. It's turned out beautifully. However, what I haven't got to yet is the doodling. I did draw these lines down each side of the paper with a ruler and a black permanent marker, but I want to do a little bit of doodling here just to add some more interest and texture and fill in a couple of the spaces, but without anything too big and too technical. So what I'm going to do, I think, is I'm going to take it from the stencil and up on this side and down on this side. I'm going to do one of these like that and put some leaves on. Just be careful about the crumpled paper can make a little bit of a mess, so I must just be aware of what I'm doing. But I think this is going to look rather nice as well, don't you? How's that? I mean, that's quite cool. So that's what I'm going to do here. I do have 2 more of these sheets, but it's quite late-ish on the Saturday afternoon at the moment. So I think that probably after completing this sheet, I'm going to pause the video, and we'll come back to it tomorrow, and I will tackle the other 2 sheets, because I'm rather impressed with this. I think it looks lovely. Okay, so here we're going to go in the other direction. And this one, the leaves will point downwards, won't they? Like that. This takes a bit of concentration, because you know you automatically want to have them pointing upwards. And I just need to pay attention to what I'm doing, so I don't go and mess this up. However, they do say you can't mess up a masterboard, you can always rescue it. But I just am not in the mood to rescue today. I would like to just swan along gracefully and do it well. There, how's that? I think that looks very nice, doesn't it? Now what to put in the middle here? Got a couple of empty spaces. Let's give this just a little bit of thought. Don't want to drag out the stamps and the ink and everything again, but I do want to put something down, and I just want to do it in the, you know, the faded black or the ordinary black, whatever. So what about what about Zentangle? I'm going to have to make this one up off the top of my head, because my journal's in another room, and I don't want to waste time switching videos on and off. So let's do this. I'm just going to pencil this in initially, and I'm going to do, what am I good at doing off the top of my head? I think 2 dots. Let's do that. So in this gap and this gap is where I can do it. I should do a third. Let's see, maybe I'll do one here, one there, one here, one there, and one in the middle. There we go, sorted. So we'll do this one first. I'm going to just quickly pencil it in, because that makes it easier for me to do. And I do cheat just a tad, because I go this way. Like that. Then I'll do an aura on each side. One over here. Not quite the way it's supposed to be done, but nevertheless. There, I think that's given me a general idea of what I want to do. I do have another eraser, not tucked away in my pencil box, so I'll bring that out. Let's try this. So we be a little more neat. And then I will put in the aura. I'll do it correctly. Like that. This will probably get sped up. But for now I'm going to natter just a little bit. Okay, and then we want to put an aura here again. Like that. That should do it. And then we'll put our orbs in here. Like that. And so for now, I'm going to leave it, and then I'll finish this little bit off camera and leave it for the morning. I think that's going to be pretty. I think that's lovely, and I think it's quite enough. You know, because the tissue paper thingies are useful for tearing off pieces and collaging. But I'm very happy with the way this has turned out. I'm very excited. So let's move on to the next one as soon as I've finished the doodles off camera. Just by the way, if you should be hearing what sounds like static, you know, on the sound, it's not static. It's rain on the roof. We are having the most peculiar summer this year. Our temperatures have dropped down to kind of winter norms, except that we've got rain, heavy rain today, and more forecast for tomorrow, although they do say it's going to ease off tomorrow. So yes, I'm dressed for winter again, and really hoping that everything sorts itself out before we head for the beach, because that would be a rather sad way to spend a holiday at the beach, a camping holiday at the beach. Although I do know it's going to be an awful lot warmer no matter how wet it is down there. Yeah, anyway, have a look here. This is where I am. It's got a little bit messy, but that's fine because this is on tissue paper, and we don't care much, do we? So I'm going to turn it round for this side. I am using my big ink pad because I'm using the archival ink so as not to waste the other ink on a big stencil like this. So I was able to use my little teeny tiny brayer, because that's what I do when I'm doing the ink. I move it, you know, around on the ink pad with this little brayer, because this is an office ink pad, you know, so it's totally different from an arty one. But yeah, so that's what I've done down the edges here on each side. And then I'm using my trusty dauber, picking up ink like this, and then applying it through the stencil. It's still quite faint, which is okay, because this is background, you know, this is all going to be background. It's all mark making basically, rather than design. But I've been giving it some consideration and wondering if possibly I shouldn't do a couple of focal images using black paint or black ink, you know, black pen, so that it's not so muted as this is. Let's give this a bash. I wonder if I've done enough. Yes, I think so. Perhaps a little bit extra there. And a little bit extra there. Ah, that's starting to take shape. I'm rather liking that effect. So let's put that to one side. Do I want to, I think possibly, I want to just wipe this off with a wet wipe. To add to our fun today, we have a water problem. There's a broken water pipe in the street, and of course in the pouring rain nothing can be done to fix it this weekend. So what they've had to do is to switch the water off and go home. So we're sitting with no water, so therefore being able to wash stencils and things is not going to be an option in the next few days. But we can just hope. There we go, that's made a nice big difference. This is permanent ink, so I'm a bit concerned that it may just not be removable from a stencil. That's good enough. Definitely good enough. That up there to dry. When I was stenciling on, I don't know if I mentioned it, when I was putting ink on the stamp, I mean, I also did my little trick with the scraps of brown paper, because if you recall, that was a lovely way of creating a background for white stamping and stenciling and drawing. Okay, so what are we going to do next? Other than throwing away that very black wet wipe, I've still, you know what, I still have these little things, and I do rather love them. So I'm going to use the ones that I didn't use on the previous paper. These are the more intricate little ones. And that I can use my other black ink. Sorry, I'm a bit noisy this morning. I do want to, there we go, that's a circle, so I thought let's make use of that. Oops. Put that there. And wherever there's a little white space on here, why not? And this all adds to the background. Here, rather scattered, and that's good. I don't want too much of a pattern and order. So put 1, 2, 3 over there, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, we'll have some order. Let's do another one. This one is more different. We only don't need to use everything, so okay, just do this. Here we go. I think we got enough dots. Put those away. And I know, let's get out some of my little leaf stamps and things. Where did I put them? Okay, once again, as you can see, I forgot to switch on the camera. I did find my stamps, and I've used the mushrooms just to create some. I wanted this to be a very fussy, untidy sheet. So I'm getting there, and I've decided what I'm going to do, because we've got the mushrooms in here, so it is a touch botanical. I'm going to put this little rose stencil slap in the middle here, just to fill the page, and I think that will be all I'll need. So let's do that and see what happens. I'm still using my other ink pad, just to save a little bit on the amount of stuff that I'm using. Now is this going to, yes, it's going through dark enough. Again, I'm not being too fussy about putting the whole stencil on and having a solid block of stenciling. I quite like this randomness. We're getting there, we're getting there. Oh, looking out the window, it appears, I don't know, the rain seems to have stopped, and the sky is a bit lighter than it was. Not blue, it's definitely still extremely grey, but it's a lighter grey. It's not that dark. We're here for the duration. Color grey. Right, how are we doing here? Let's have a little peek. Once I move it, I can't put it back. This one's too fussy. That'll do. That'll do, because I can just add a little bit here, which is what I think I'll do, where there's a patch. unfortunately, my third sheet of tissue paper that I wanted to use in this video has turned out to be very fragile. It's quite perished. So it's kind of disintegrating as I'm handling it. So I don't think it's going to be worth the effort. Voila. Maybe just another one here. Just put a small one in that little gap. Sorry about the thumping. But I kind of get quite busy with my dauber. Excuse me. The cold weather always makes me cough for some obscure reason. Well, we've got 1 week left, and the following Tuesday we'll be en route to the seaside. So here's hoping the weather improves. It's definitely got to improve down there. There we go. Maybe up there a little bit. Let's put one more up there. Oh, sorry about the coffee. I can have a sip of my coffee. That should make it behave a little better. Here we go. I think that's done. Now we can do a little comparison. Sorry, let me just wipe off my stencil, because I really don't want to mess it up. There appears to be no, oh, there comes the rain again. So there will be no work done on our water supply. Well, the rain goes away, because obviously people can't dig holes in the soil and try and either repair or replace a pipe when it'll be filling up with water as fast as they try to work. Okay, let's take this apart now and see what we end up with. I'll come back once I've done that. Right, I've taken off loosened the papers off the taped down sheet of white plastic. This was the first one, the one we did yesterday, and I'm still very happy with that. I got my 3 Zentangles in there, my tools, and I think the contrast between the slightly faded appearance of the stamping as opposed to the pen and ink drawing makes quite a nice contrast. So that's the one. And then this is the second one that we've done today. It looks awfully grungy and awfully messy, but I'm quite happy with that, because you must remember that what we're doing here, this is collage paper, so it's not going to be a perfect background of anything. It's for tearing up and sticking down pieces randomly all over the place. So I'm very happy with these two. It's a pity that I couldn't finish the third, or I couldn't do the third one because of the sad state of the paper. But I do know that I have some other plain white tissue paper that I bought for gift wrapping. So, well, it wasn't for gift wrapping, but it is a gift wrapping tissue, and I bought it to work on. So we'll have a look at that next time. So anyway, folks, please like this if you do like it, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I welcome all my subscribers. Okay, guys, Comments, of course, more than welcome. So until next time, stay safe, stay well, stay warm. Even us need to stay warm now. And we'll see you again. Bye bye.